This catastrophic event shook the world on August 4th, 2020. Beirut, Lebanon was never the same after that day. With over 200 people dead, thousands injured, and a city in ruins, this tragic event marked its place in history. In this video, we will be discussing the details of what happened, the aftermath of the explosion, and the ongoing investigation. As today marks exactly 3 years since this infamous event, let's go back in time and explore what happened today in history, August 4th. Lebanon's rich history dates back to the ancient Phoenicians, who were skilled seafarers and established a thriving civilization along the Mediterranean coast around 2500 BC. Their trading networks spanned the Mediterranean, and their alphabet served as the foundation for modern Western scripts. The Phoenicians established powerful city-states like Byblos, Sidon, and Tyre, which became thriving economic hubs during their time. They are renowned for their alphabet, considered to be one of the first alphabetic writing systems, and which had a significant influence on the development of writing in the Western world. In the following centuries, Lebanon came under Roman rule, with the region becoming renowned for its law schools and as the birthplace of several famous Roman emperors. The Temple of Bacchus in Baalbek, which still stands today, is a testament to this era and a symbol of Lebanon's enduring past. During the Islamic conquests in the 7th century, Lebanon became part of the vast Islamic Caliphate, like many other regions in the Middle East. The region underwent several power shifts over the centuries, culminating in Ottoman rule in the early 16th century, which lasted until World War I. Post-World War I, the Ottoman Empire disintegrated, and Lebanon was placed under French mandate by the League of Nations. It was during this period that Lebanon's modern borders were drawn. The French rule continued until November 22, 1943, when Lebanon gained its independence. Once known as the Switzerland of the East, due to its strategic geographical position and prosperous economic role, Lebanon has unfortunately been plunged into a series of devastating conflicts due to sectarian tensions exacerbated by foreign interference and social inequalities. The country had already experienced a minor conflict in 1958, but tensions continued to escalate, culminating in a prolonged 15-year civil war from 1975 to 1990. Post-Civil War, Lebanon underwent a slow and arduous process of reconstruction and reconciliation, struggling with political instability, intermittent conflict, economic crisis, and a large refugee influx from neighboring Syria. As we enter the present day, Lebanon grapples with deep-seated political corruption and an unprecedented economic collapse. On August 4th, 2020, a massive explosion rocked the port area of Beirut, Lebanon. The explosion was so powerful that it could be felt as far as Cyprus, which is over 200 kilometers away. The cause of the explosion was a large amount of ammonium nitrate that had been stored in a warehouse in the port area. This chemical compound is commonly used as a fertilizer, but can also be used as an explosive. The ammonium nitrate had been stored in the warehouse for 6 years, and many people had raised concerns about the safety of the storage. The Lebanese authorities had been aware of the danger, but failed to take any action. The result was a catastrophic explosion that destroyed much of the port area and surrounding neighborhoods. The explosion was so powerful that it created a mushroom cloud that could be seen from miles away. The blast was equivalent to a 3.3 magnitude earthquake and caused massive damage to buildings, cars, and infrastructure. The explosion also caused a fire that spread to nearby buildings, further exacerbating the damage. The explosion was a tragedy for the people of Beirut, many of whom lost their homes, businesses, and loved ones. The Lebanese government has declared a state of emergency in the city and has launched an investigation into the cause of the explosion. The aftermath of the explosion has been devastating for the people of Beirut. Over 200 people were killed and thousands were injured. Hospitals in the city were overwhelmed with patients, and there was a shortage of medical supplies and personnel to treat the injured. The explosion also caused significant damage to infrastructure and buildings in the city. Many buildings were destroyed or severely damaged, and roads and bridges were also affected. The port, a vital part of the city's economy, was destroyed, causing disruptions to supply chains and trade. The explosion has also had a significant impact on the country's political and economic situation. Lebanon was already facing a severe economic crisis before the explosion, and the disaster has only exacerbated the situation. The country's leaders are facing criticism from the international community for their handling of the crisis, and there have been calls for accountability and justice for the victims of the explosion. There are several theories as to what may have happened. Some people believe that the explosion was caused by a missile strike or a bomb, while others believe that it was a result of negligence and mismanagement. The investigation is still ongoing, and it may take some time before the full extent of the damage and the cause of the explosion are known. However, there have been several developments in the investigation, including the arrest of several port officials and the resignation of the government. The international community has also offered support to the people of Beirut in the aftermath of the explosion. Several countries have sent aid and supplies to the city, and there have been calls for a coordinated effort to rebuild the city and support the people affected by the tragedy. The aftermath of the explosion has been devastating for the people of Beirut, with over 200 people dead, thousands injured, and a city in ruins. The Lebanese government has launched an investigation into the cause of the explosion, and while there have been several developments in the investigation, it is yet to bring peace and justice to the Lebanese people. Now let me ask you, what other historical events have you learned about that had such a profound impact on their society and the world? Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.